Well, yesterday my transmission started acting up. It shipped out of third or into fourth, but it shipped in first to second. It's either toast or the filter fell, and I think it's toast because it's always shifted funny. So I'll hop right in here and try and drain the fluid out of it and pull the pan and see if it's bad filter or not. Well, this transmission didn't have a drain pan on it, so I just took the dipstick tube out and drained it up in this 5-gallon bucket, because that fluid really is still good. If the transmission is, I probably won't put it back in it if I had to rebuild it, but next step is to pull the pan and see how that's going to look. Which I don't think we'll have any issues there, but you never know. Well, I'll put a new filter in this transmission and put a magnet in it, catch any kind of shavings, and well, that's the magnet, and it was a tiny little magnet. And then this, yeah, that's bad. So this trans is fried. I'm gonna have to attempt to rebuild it, take it to someone, but I ain't paying $3,000 to have this sucker rebuilt. It's a going price these days, where from $2,500 to $3,000, but oh well. Alright, I guess. I really want to put a 4-speed manual in it, but I can't find a set of clutch pedals. Yeah, this is full of clutch material. I mean, that's bad. And this is a little tiny magnet I put in there when I put that new filter in. Well, now that I know for a fact the transmission is shot, I'm going to start taking it out. So I went ahead and took the stubborn cable off. I'm going to have to unbolt it from the actual car. I'm going to have to unbolt the ones on the flex plate that come through. I'll take the dust cover off to do that. I'll have to loosen it for this transmission mount and probably take the cross member out. And that starter's gonna have to come off because it's belt housing mounted. Hopefully I can get this out in a couple hours. Well, a fella's taking the nuts off this, and he's got his old Lone Wolf 3000. That's how you do it right there. Now that I got all those off, see my starter action in there. I'm going to probably take these off here soon. These are my transmission lines. And then I'll take all my bolts out for the transmission to the engine. And my starter, I already took this off. I'll probably just leave that dangling there for now. And the drive shaft. I'll have to unhook this linkage bracket right here. And then probably gonna have to take the cross member out and hopefully it'll be ready to drop. Well guys, I've got all these bolts out, and the top bell housing bolts were fun. It was way down in there. I had to crawl up in the engine bay to do it. And now it's about ready to drop. The only thing left is my transmission lines and the cross member. And I think I'm gonna put this thing up on the air jacks because I started again today because last night I ran out of time and it rained all night. So now my jacks are kind of getting a little hazy, but I got the drive shaft out and just about everything's ready to go out. So I will have to take that out, and I gotta take this shifter bracket out and the dipstick, and there's minimal mess as of right now. So I'll get that done, and hopefully that won't be too big of a headache. Alright guys, I got her up on the air jacks. And I tell you, the transmission, man, I don't know how it still has fluid in it. It's got 3 places to drain it: the pan, the fluid coupling, and one other place, and it's still draining fluid at the dipstick too. So let that drain, I guess, for a little longer. And here soon I'm gonna pop this tranny out. Still got these transmission lines over here, and I'm just gonna take the rubber part off and leave them on the transmission. That way it's still easy to hook it back up. And I got the transmission mount loose. I'm gonna go ahead and take the cross member out and slide it back in here, and then go ahead and jack this transmission out and try and pull this sucker out. Well, I got this side of the cross member. The bolts are out. And it was a long-winded one. I have to use this guy. That's the only thing that'll work. My dang Socket is way too big to fit in there. Well guys, after fighting and fighting, I got the transmission out. And it's time to tear this sucker down and see what I need and attempt to rebuild it. I wish I could find a 4-speed manual, but people want $1,000 just for the clutch pedals, and I cannot pay that. But this is what the flex plate on this motor looks like, for those of you who might be wondering. The teeth on this transmission are on this, and this is your fluid coupling. A lot of people will say that's a torque converter, but no, this is fluid coupling. It will not come out prying on it like this. You have to take the whole thing apart to get it out. These transmissions are not your regular breed, but luckily I have a few bucks on them. That is your Pontiac super hydramatic jetaway, 4-speed automatic. I'm going to take this opportunity while this transmission's out. I'm going to paint the drive shaft, and I'm going to paint the bottom side of the car in a few spots where the undercoating has peeled off under the years. See, under here it's pretty clean, you know, it's black paint, but there's a few spots that need touched up, mainly just the bottoms of the frame rails, and I'm thinking about painting that rear end silver and some other little things, but that's for another video. Thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.